Hey, watch collectors. After a very tenuous 2024, I think I decided to treat myself to my dream Rolex, which I think I fell in love with the moment they previewed it in 2023. This is the Rolex Sky Dweller in green. I'll just have a close up of that really nice green dial. And I got this in November here in Singapore at a very hefty grey market premium. It's easily $8,000 to $10,000 higher at a grey market dealer than what you could get at a authorized dealer if you had that relationship with them. I wasn't really interested in trying to build a relationship with a grey market dealer. Sorry, I should say I wasn't interested in building a relationship with an authorized dealer. They're just trying to push Datejust and Oyster Perpetuals on you, and wasn't interested in any of those other models. So I just wanted this baby, and got it. And there was a slight dip in the prices for Rolexes in November. I think it started around the end of October up until November. If I were to guess, it had probably had a lot to do with the American presidential elections. So just like any commodity, this is probably very highly speculative. So prices dropped significantly enough for me to decide to pull the trigger on this, and I got it. So this is a stainless steel case with a white gold fluted bezel, oyster steel bracelet, and there is a feature of it that I actually haven't figured out, which is the extended clasp. But here on the bottom of the clasp, you can already see that I've worn it for a little bit. You can probably pick up either my fingerprints or some very hairline scratches there. So as the main selling point for this watch is, for me, it's got to be that green. I'm very partial to green watches. I have a green Grand Seiko that I really love too, and it happens to be a GMT as well. Just a bit of a close-up on the features here. You can see the cutout of the inner dial, or the primary time zone, and you can see a little bit of the Rolex engraving at the edges of the dial. So you got a date complication, and you got an annual calendar complication, which is marked out by these little red dots that will show up at top of your indices. So for example, now it's red here at the 12 o'clock marker, which means it's in December. So we're on the 6th of December in 2024, which of course you couldn't tell from this watch. And your inner dial should be your primary time zone, and you would change the hour hands to adjust if you're visiting a different country, or you need to pay attention to a secondary time zone. The bezel is fixed at certain positions, and I'm gonna try to demonstrate this if I can. I'll just pop this in here and see whether I can get a shot of this. I apologize, don't really have a tripod here. Okay, so that should do it. Yep. Alright, so that should do it. So here, if you want to adjust the things, first you got to check where your bezel is. Right now it's fixed to the most right, so I can't move it any further than right. And then I'll just unscrew the crown here. It's a 2-type screw, so you got to pop that out. So you got to pop out, and then even after popping it out here, okay, so here I can adjust my hour hand. Oh, so I was wrong, I had not actually turned it. So okay, when it's here at the rightmost, when you try to adjust it, this will be your neutral position on the watch for the bezel. So even you try to turn it around, you're not being able to change anything. Now the moment I turn it one click to the left, I can adjust the date. So this is the date function, and if I turn it the second click to the left, I can adjust my hour hand. And if I adjust it to the most left, and that's the last position, I can't click it any further, it stops the hack. It's basically a hacking mechanism, so you can actually adjust your minute hand. So here I'm going to try to adjust it at 4 p.m, which is exactly what the timing here is. And you would adjust the hour, the minute hand, so you would want to try to adjust your primary time zone. So you can see that the inner dial is moving. That's your primary time zone. The arrow here, which it corresponds to your indices or number, corresponds to the timing. So you say I'm going to try to adjust it at 5 p.m in another country. So it literally will be here at 5 p.m. And if I wanted to adjust my hour hand, maybe a time difference of about 2 hours. Oh, so that's the date, sorry. Oh, I put it to neutral again. It takes a bit of handling to figure this out. So let's say it's 2 p.m. somewhere else in the world. So I would have my time zone, my inner time zone is paying attention to my local time, and my secondary time zone would be whatever is represented by the hour hand. And then you just press that down and you just roll it in. So, and if you're gonna try and jump months, you gotta go through the date function like every day of the date. So it's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let me see if I can just go through that here. So I'm just gonna change that. So let's see, I want to change this back to my actual timing. So okay, that's the rightmost. It's kind of fun to play around with, to be honest. I'm a bit worried that I might overdo things at some point. Okay, so it's 4 p.m. here, 4 p.m. here in Singapore, and it's about, yeah, let's give it. So I want to change the date. So here, so I got it on the 7th, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, blah 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 blah. 31st of December, and you got it on the 1st of January in theory. So you saw that it went to the 1st and then it jumped. Now I'm not sure, but let's find out. Let's see whether I can reverse that. Oh yes, you can reverse that. So yep, we learned something new today, guys. So I'm just gonna change that back to the 6th. And yeah, and I'll just try to get my inner dial back to the timing that I wanted it to be. So it's 4 p.m. here in Singapore. It's about 4:03 here, and you can see that it's at the 16-hour mark. So it's 4 p.m. here, and I'll just adjust my hour hand here, and yep, and we're good. And turn it to the leftmost to be set it in neutral. So even if I turn the dial or turn the crown, nothing's gonna change, and we're good. So in closing, do I like this watch? Of course, it's a Rolex. It's my first Rolex. It's a precious metal, white gold Rolex, which stands out. It's not a Daytona, it's not a Submariner, it's not a GMT Master. It's unique. I dare say maybe it's even hated. So, but hopefully that means that one day it will increase and appreciate in price. Not that it matters, of course. I don't really care about trying to sell this. Anyway, good day. Have a good 2025 ahead. Spend your money responsibly, guys. This is a very big investment and a very big chance that I've taken here on this watch. You don't need to spend this much money on anything. I know it sounds hypocritical coming from a guy that just dropped somewhere in the range of $30,000 on a watch like this, but I don't have the responsibilities that some other people have. If you have such responsibilities, that money should go to those responsibilities first, and if you have a little bit more to spend on yourself, by all means. Anyway, let's all hope for a safe and hopefully less uneventful 2025. Take care, everyone.